Yo, what is up guys, and welcome to my full settings video. If you want aim like this, then stay tuned for what I'm about to show you now. So let's get into my settings. So first off, the gameplay settings. So most of these are personal preference, however, I can explain some of these to you and why I chose them to be the way they are. So interact prompt style should be compact, so it's not that big. Button hints you don't really need. I like to keep crosshair damage feedback on X because X with shield icon you don't really need this, and without anything it looks kind of weird on console, so I just like to keep it on X. Then all of this is pretty much personal preference, like ping opacity. I use this on faded, so it doesn't bother you. Weapon auto cycle on empty, I have it on off. Auto sprint you should always have on. Taking damage closest death box, definitely keep this off, so you can do shield swaps and stuff like that. These two, keep them off because it just makes your screen more clustered if you have them on. This is all things that don't really matter. I like to keep performance display on so I can see what my ping is on. And then my reticle is this. You can copy these values if you want. I really like yellow reticles because they don't like stand out too much. That you when aiming, it's always important that you don't look at your crosshair, but rather on the target. So if you're aiming onto an enemy, you should always have your eyes on the enemy and not on your crosshair. So I don't recommend using a really fancy crosshair. I recommend using something like a red dot or a yellow dot, or something like in this area here, like a cyan crosshair. But if you want mine, this is really good, you can copy this. And then the laser sight doesn't really matter. I never aim with my laser sight. I always look at my crosshair when I hip fire. So I just made it really dark so it doesn't stand out that much. So I would prefer making it dark so it doesn't bother you. And then colorblind mode, you don't really need it. Some people put it on deuteranopia, so they have blue targets when they put on a digi. You can do this. It's not like a game changer, but you can do this if you like it. So let's get into my button layout. This is like a really advanced button layout that I first saw from someone I used to watch, and then I kind of customized it to my liking a little bit more. So right stick jump is just superior in my opinion. You never have to take your thumb off the stick. And also L1 crouch is also really good because it's like the perfect crouch button. It doesn't change your aim when you crouch, it doesn't do anything with your aim. That's why most people use right stick to crouch and L1 to jump, but I flipped it because it's simply better in my opinion, because it doesn't like mess with your aim. Because if you have like your right stick to crouch, you mess up your aim when you like crouch and stuff like that. So I use it like that. Then R2 for interact, so you don't have to remove your thumb from your stick when you loot, so you can just loot really fast. Also cycle weapon is not the most important, so if you don't play claw and don't play paddles like me, you can keep cycle weapons on triangles. That's on triangle, that's a sacrifice you gotta make if you don't have paddles and Also don't play claw. And then this is really weird. Some people like don't understand why I play R1 attack and L2 to aim. So the reason is I have 2 fingers on my left side of the controller. So my middle finger is on L2 and my index finger is on L1. And on the right side I only have my index finger on R1. So I recommend you doing this. It's a really good grip. You can hold your controller really well like this, and if you get used to this button layout with that grip, it's gonna be worth it. So left stick is for my tactical and ping is on square because it doesn't really matter. Sometimes I claw over to use the ping wheel, but other than that, this is really good to alt as well, so it doesn't bother you. And then I have D-pad down for my toggle zoom, because when I aim and I'm trying to toggle my zoom like this, I can do that without removing my finger from my thumb, so that's really good. And then melee on X, it's not really important, that's something you have to sacrifice once again. You just have to quickly remove your thumb from the stick to melee, that's just because you don't play claw and no paddles. And then I use D-pad up for heal. Sometimes I just claw over like this with my index finger. I claw over to choose my healing. Then extra character action is the least important on everything. Like it's the least important on this. So I just sometimes claw over if I want to like throw something. Then circle to switch your fire mode. So this is really good. It doesn't really matter. You can easily press circle to just change fire mode. Also, I use circle and L2 with my survival slot button off, so I can inspect spam. So I really recommend this. It's really comfortable. So yeah, that's what my button layout is. And then my aim button is on hold, of course. Crouch button is also on hold. I recommend hold for crouch button. And then L2, R2 button, that one's put this on none, so you have the quickest. And then menu cursor speed doesn't really matter, it's personal preference. And then I use 4-3 linear, and this is really important now. You have to copy my sense the exact same way that I have it, so you have the same effect. So I have everything on 3 here on the Pyroptics, and then I turn them off. And then linear, small lead zone, and also my ALCs are off and default. Always put them on default. That makes your, for me personally, that makes my aim feel so consistent. I don't know why, but it just makes it feel extremely consistent, and also it makes my aim assist feel kind of strong. I don't know why. So I don't recommend using ALC Pyroptics, and I also don't recommend using these Pyroptics, because if you have it exactly like me, you have the most aim assist for some reason, like it just feels more consistent. Yeah, as soon as you change anything, your aim assist will always feel kind of different. So brightness, personal preference, depends on your monitor. Field of view 110 is my personal preference. Some people play 108. I also know some people that play 104, but me personally, I shoot best with 110. These two FOV ability scaling have this disabled. It's not really worth it having it enabled. Sprint view shake, have it on minimal. And then these are my audio settings. It's also pretty much personal preference. So yeah, that was pretty much all my settings. If you want me to make a guide on overall mechanics, like how to implement these settings into your gameplay, and also like what you can do for strafes and stuff, I can make a guide on strafing to dodge the most amount of bullets. I can make a guide on overall mechanics. Just let me know in the comments and I will do. Yeah, that's pretty much it. See you guys in the next video.